Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, hello, good evening. Welcome back to Rangers Radio. Rangers 1, Hibs 0. And a strange game at Ibrox, but join myself, Oxy, back in the show. Is Robert. How we doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. A wee bit nervy after that. Towards the end.
Never any doubt. Turn that frown upside down, mate. I told you.
I told you, Fernandez. Just not making more. Never got to get in the act. We did it together. We were there, mate. We were there. 3 points.
It was. Listen, it was a. I think you said nervy. I think that sums it up nicely, mate.
Towards the end, mate, just got a little bit nervy, scrappy. I don't think they really pushed up too much, but just at the end, just they always do.
Well, neither, mate. I thought we were nervy at the start. Yeah.
First half especially, mate, until we get the goal, was real nervy.
I thought, look, the first half, I thought Stirling was doing okay. I thought Aarons and Bankoma weren't showing a lot, but Curtis put a cross in. You know, you can see that Curtis is a young boy trying to add guile to his craft, you know. Mikey Moore looked at times a class apart. Diamandi and Barron worked hard, particularly in the first half. I thought they get better as the game went on. Without being fantastic, because I don't think anybody was. But I didn't see a goal coming, mate. And then it was, of all people, Dujon Stirling had put it in, and Big Fernandez, who was up for the corner, put it in the goal, mate. Who I thought, up until then, mate, passing-wise, was struggling a bit. He's a big physical unit when he's hitting it, but he's just got to concentrate when he's passing the ball, mate. So we get the goal, and we came into the game after that, mate.
I agree, mate. Particularly the Fernandez point, his passing was, again, quite nervy up until that point. Sterling puts in a good ball, as you say, and Fernandez uses his height well, but it's a good run as well, gets between the centre halves, and he actually stoops to get the ball to generate some more power. A lot of the power's on the cross itself, but he's got to stoop, so it's a great header to score. From there, mate, I thought we stepped it up a bit. The press went higher, the intensity from both sides kind of improved a wee bit in the game itself, but that first kind of half an hour period, it was very, very scrappy. Days of old almost.
Yeah, I thought Hibs looked to me lightweight, if I'm honest, mate. With the one kicked off the line, and obviously we were defending deep at times. We kept getting the ball away. But slow, as you said, we got a foothold and we got the goal. Turn to the second half, mate. I think we deserved to win the game at the finish. We arguably should have put the game to bed. We dominated easily the first 30, 35 minutes of the second half, and maybe had opportunities to put the game to bed. Nice goal with Gassama, just offside. Good ball with Diamandi, you know, and then he nearly returned the favour. And arguably, if Diamandi does with Gassama stuff, it means we relax for the last few minutes. I thought the start of the second half, Mikey Moore was shown well. Barron grew into the game. Without creating, he still lacks that pass, mate. He still lacks that pass. You know, so we huffed and puffed. Take it, move on, and then the bigger game on Sunday, mate. We're now 3 points behind that lot. I mean, you consider where we were a few weeks ago, mate. It's pretty remarkable, mate.
It is, and we analyse what we see, Ox, and we've been critical at times, and sometimes it's been deserved by some individuals and team performances, but you've kind of got to give credit due where it is. We've clawed back the points gap to 3 points in it. So you've got to give the players credit for going in and actually getting results. Danny Rule for doing the changes, because he's changed formations in a few games. But again, that game's now over. all the focus turns to Sunday. So every game now, as we always say, is a big game. But it was a very, very important game tonight, and it's vital we got the 3 points, which we did. Again, could have put icing on the cake with a few more goals, but again, before kick-off, you'd have took 3 points any day of the week.
Aye, that was the aim, mate. Result was performance, mate, and I think that's what we got. There was moments, fleeting. We put ourselves under pressure with the wrong decisions. You know, even right at the end, Gassama's got to slide it to Asgard, mate. With 1.5 minutes or something to go, mate. So we keep the ball at that end of the park. It proceeds to get away, try to check back in. And the next time we're defending a corner. It's these moments we've got to be more streetwise, mate.
Aye, there is, and there's a few moments, even in the whole game itself, where we just weren't quick enough at releasing the ball. We're trying to take on 2 or 3 defenders rather than just keeping it simple, retaining possession, getting forward. I know a lot of times we go back and it's frustrating, but I would rather keep the ball rather than lose it as well. It's like trying to get that balance right, but when you're in the final third, you've either got to get your shot away quicker or find a pass and even just keep possession in the corner when you're in that late stages of the game. But it's something we've said for a while, mate. It's just these final decision makings by some players, and it's probably just going to continue until there is some sort of settled 11, if there is one this season.
I have to change your personnel, mate, if we're honest. Look, I'll give you my take on it, mate. There was some decent effort for a lot of our players. We lacked quality, and we had at times if we get it right, mate, because we could open them up, you know, especially even in the first half we weren't great. If we move it for our left, out to the right with Mikey Moore in space, he's got a choice. He can drive on and he plays with Yarns, and the times we go at Rang, mate, didn't get there. I accept it's an easier game when you're watching. It always is football. But I'm going to say something, mate, and it's only my take on it. And I know he'd have flicked this the first half with Pat Keel with Aaron's, and then he'd have shot near the end. It could have put the get me bed. The goal made a decent save. I mean, I think it was in the saving arc, if you like, but whoever. We're playing with 10 men with a big fella up front, mate. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he looks even ready. If he came for the B team, mate, he doesn't look aware. He doesn't close down. He's obviously not made a lot of starts, so he doesn't look 100% fit, mate. Nothing looks right. But it's not just his doing that when we don't play well in matches and periods and matches. It's a collective, mate. I noticed that he was trying to come deep at times like Biofsky, and that's definitely not his game, is it?
No, it's definitely not his game at all. To be honest, I don't think any of us can say what his game is because we've not seen it really. I thought at times he done some decent hold up, but didn't really influence the game a lot, if I'm being honest. Again, just that flick on the outside. Don't know how he managed to pull that off, but before that, he had a shot in the box that ended up going out for a throw in. It's probably just summed it up for him on a kind of personal level. I think it's maybe about 6 or 7 yards out as a snapshot, but it ends up being a throw in. So again, not his great performance, but he's played worse. He's got to get better because that's the only way he can really. If not, we are stuck with him for a long time.
I don't see it, mate. As we sit today, I don't see it, and it's a real problem, mate. Because of wages, I really don't.
No, do you know what you've got to do though, Ox? You've just got to turn that frown upside down, mate.
It's a good shout, mate. It's a good shout. Yeah. I'm pleased, mate. It was all about the result, but I'm critiquing what I watched, mate. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, you know, I like it. Let me see who that was. Mr. Willard. Like it, mate. Good shout. But I suppose if you give it out, you've got to take it, mate.
Exactly. No, but you're right. He does need to start improving going forward, and I was surprised to get the 90 minutes, but I think there's a lot of game went on longer. Obviously, the subs were made. It was evident he was going to play the full 90, but you wouldn't have argued if he came off. Again, as I said, some decent hold-up play at times, but overall, didn't really impose himself in the game a lot.
No, he's never where the centre forward should be, mate. You know, he doesn't look a natural centre forward. You know, he's not an experienced pro, but This is where his price tag becomes a problem, mate, because you know what we're paid for him. But listen, we've talked about it long and hard, and I'm only critiquing what I've seen, what I thought, but delighted with the result, mate. Delighted with the run. Keep it going, and frustrated because of Falkirk and Dundee, mate. That's the truth, mate.
That is the thing. Is again, when you start winning these games and you start to close the gap, you look back at missed opportunities, and that's two games that will stand out, particularly the Falkirk game at home, because you're at Ibrox, of course. But then you look at the Dundee game, the amount of chances that we passed by, and to snatch a draw in the last minute with the penalty adds to that frustration as well. So it could have been 4 points better off, but we are where we're at. We've closed the gap, and now it is just all about Sunday, which becomes a bigger game than what tonight possibly could have been. Now
I
that's
was
at the way it's easy to see it.
We're scoring goals away from him easier we're at Ibrox, mate. I mean, that's our last two games at Ibrox. The defenders scored, and sorry, we didn't score, and then the defenders scored tonight. We know a lot of chances were the piece, mate. So that's something that will need to be looked at. We want to start playing better at Ibrox because obviously the last two away games we've scored 5 goals. Last two home games we've scored 1 domestically.
Aye, there's always room for improvement. We know where the weaknesses are, and we know what we need to strengthen. And there's a window coming up that hopefully they'll address that situation when we get there. But the main thing is between now and then is just going to get results. And if it is scrappy performances, you come away with 3 points, then that's all that matters at the end of the day.
I'd take the same result on Sunday, mate. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I'll tell you what we'll do, mate. We'll get the phone lines open, yes?
I'd be good to hear from my callers, get their perspective on the game.
Yeah. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, come and give us your thoughts, mate. We'll give us yours. You can maybe if you're saying the second half now, Robert.
Second half, mate, I thought it was a bit more comfortable than obviously the first half. I felt Hibs kind of stepped off a wee bit. I don't know if that was just because they made some changes, tried to go a bit more attacking, but ultimately just couldn't find a rhythm to kind of cause us problems. We kind of controlled most of the second half, again, for a lengthy period of time. But you're always quite nervy, mate, that last kind of 5-10 minutes, especially when, they're going to go long balls. But I thought right at the end, Giga, Fernandez and Enciala kind of dealt with everything. It was just a clear your lines, nothing silly. Just certainly headed it away or punt it away, and that's what we did. We knew it was going to come back, but they dealt with it pretty reasonable.
Aye. I mean, they won a lot of headers tonight. It was where they passed the ball. The Giga was like running down the wing in the second half for a period. And by the way, if he's maybe not so theatrical, there could have been a penalty kick, mate. He did get caught, but obviously when you exaggerate the dive, mate, it doesn't look good, mate. He did catch him just on the back leg.
Ox, if you go down theatrically, it shouldn't really matter if there's contact in the box and it's enough to go down. He's in a kind of advanced position. I don't know why he would go down even if he felt a minimal contact, but there's been penalties given for less, and penalties being given for nothing. So he did have an argument for it, but it was kind of swiftly checked by VAR, whereas I think they'd won in the first half. That was a wee bit lengthier, even though it was offside. Questionable VAR yet again, but it didn't impact the game.
Aye. Well, end up with. We should have maybe made more opportunities to score more goals when we were playing well, yeah. Because I'm not saying we were playing well when we were dominating. Yeah, the first half an hour, that second half, we were pretty much dominating, Robert.
Aye, we were. Again, once we get the goal, we dominated, could have created some more chances. I think the goal certainly settled the nerves around the stadium and around the players. The first kind of, as you said, 30 minutes was quite hectic almost. Hibs were quite imposing. They also had one cleared off the line, which was judged well by Sterling, who had a good hour in him. That'll do him the world of good going forward and good for the squad as well to have him back. But Again, I said at the start of the show, mate, it was nervy, but as the game kind of progressed, apart from the latter stages, it ended up being slightly comfortable that they didn't put too much pressure or have any clear-cut chances.
Somebody's asked a question. Danny Rose, 4-15 against 4 domestically in his 7 matches, mate. That's my quick take on it, yeah.
Goals conceded in the league.
Aye. I've
Aye,
definitely
4.
conceded less goals, mate. There's times where you see some of the frustrations for the pass, but I think we move the ball slightly quicker and we get it up the park quicker. There's not a tendency as much for the suicide pass. This is just you ask for that start, mate. But aye, look, mate, delighted with the result. But it's now about all focus goes on to Sunday. Hopefully, people get a rest. Raskin, Kasama's back, maybe fitter. As I said earlier, I see the cycle shorts on. Everybody's fit. We get more players back, and we start building momentum and go and win the game on Sunday, mate. Go and win it.
That's it. It's just on to the next one. Keep this momentum going. And it's a big game Sunday again, because you can close the gap even more. Obviously, we play Sunday, so you can see what happens midweek. I think they've got a game midweek, so you could end up being level on points on the time you kick off on Sunday. And if you can close your points against Hearts as well, turns into a good week. And then again, it's just on to the next one after that. But as I said, players maybe coming back from injury. Hopefully, Miovski can be fit for next week as well. I think it kind of highlights tonight, mate, that he may not be the best we've got, but it's certainly a different dimension and certainly something that would have impacted and caused a few more problems.
Aye, look, Miovski needs service and he's a box centre forward, you know. Shimitri's very inexperienced, really. And that's where the wonder why we spent that money. And he looks raw at best, mate, at best. But he'll argue that he never get any service. That'll be the argument, mate.
Well, if he's coming deep, he's not going to be in the positions to get the service at the same time. So as a striker, you need to be in the right areas to receive the ball. There was a couple of crosses put in that there was one in the first half that went over him. It was more towards Finlay Curtis, but if he's coming deep box, he's not going to get that. The difference is with Miovski, when he does come deep, he's laying it off and he's moving again. You're not going to get that from him. He's not that guy to hold it up, drop and spin. He's just not going to offer that. The guy of his stature should simply be on the last man, in the box, in aerial threat or picking up pieces. But we've not seen that from him either. So how do you know what game he wants to play when he's not showed you his game at all?
No. Listen, as I say, there's some bad play, bad moments in the game for the team, isn't he, all doing to him, mate? But nothing looks natural to him. I mean, we'll see how we go. But credit to Danny Rowe, he's come in, domestically steadied the ship, mate. You know?
It has indeed, mate. And again, he's in the, if you look at league form, I know Europe's a different kettle of fish and that's been dealt with. Let's be brutal, that's over with. So the league domestic form, it's good. 6 wins, 2 draws, 4 goals conceded, and only one of them is at Ibrox, and that was against Livingston.
Well, we've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Ox, you called it right, mate. No a pretty performance, but I won.
I didn't know what was going to happen, mate. It's the time of the year, and I think the Aura squads, mate, this calendar needs looked at, because I think the fans are getting shortchanged in our league anyway. But other leagues maybe should be able to survive it because we've got bigger squads with better quality. But you know, we're not getting our teams players on the pitch because there's a lot of injuries. You can see everybody's injuries.
Hell of a lot of injuries there, but I will agree with you.
And the whole league, mate. And so, look, Hibs, I think they were a better team up till we scored. And then from then on, up to the last 10 minutes, mate.
I don't know how they stayed in the park with 11 men.
Oh. Yeah, when you think back to the one that John Lundstrom got sent off at their place for the professional foul, how many did they do tonight, Robert?
No. Every time he crossed the halfway line.
I lost count. There was a few. The boy McGrath could have been sent off, and then he was subbed straight after. Again, it's a petulant kick out. Could have been sent off. The boy Iredale had a few fouls before he got booked. So there was a lot of questionable decisions again, but I was really surprised. Don Robertson, not really.
Yeah, good point, mate. Good point, well made. Bob, Jar?
Aye, to me, every time Rangers came forward, and approached the halfway, and you were just getting chopped. Simple as they were. But I thought overall Rangers deserved to win. They deserved to win the game. I thought Connor Barron had a great game. Chermiti, stick with it, son. It'll come. Sure, it'll come for the boy.
You're a braver man than me, Bob, Jar.
Well, I know. I know.
You're a more generous man than me.
Well, I want to encourage the boy. I'll never get face to face with him, but I want to encourage the lad. He plays for Rangers, and I hope he does all right, obviously. He had a really good chance tonight, and he kind of has to stay the keeper, eh? But in these days, it'll go on for the laddie. Well, onwards to a big game on Sunday.
Aye, and where we've been and where we come to, mate, we can win that, mate. We're 6 points behind with a game in hand, mate.
Aye.
It's mental where we are, where we were and where we are. Robert, we made that point earlier.
High rolls is I'm not going to say he's turned it round completely, but he's turned it round a good bit. We're starting to get victories with half a squad. And I'm like you, Ox, I just wish everybody was fit and ready to go for it. But we'll just have to wait. Probably after the new year to see who comes in and who goes.
I'm sure every team will see that. Young Robert?
Aye, of course. If you've got a fully fit squad, you've got more options available. We know we've got to go with a squad, and Danny Rule knew that. He had to go with a squad who were underperforming, underachieving. Again, as Bob Chair, like you say, mate, he's not come in and done a massive improvement in all areas, but what he's improved is he's got wins on the board, and they wins have made us climb this table to a gap that 3 points behind him across the city, with a chance of going to Hearts at Tynecastle on a Sunday and closing that gap as well. So he's installed something in the domestic campaign that it can be done, and it may not be pretty all the time, but if you can grind results, you never know where it goes to take you. And if you start winning, the momentum carries on into the next one.
If you ever have a season to go yet, Robert? So, a lot of football is played, yeah.
It's not over till it's over. Not over till it's over.
You're bringing up me, Robert, son.
Not over till it's over.
No, it's not over till it's over. No, exactly. That's fine. If we're racking up the wins and gathering up the points, well, that's sort of the good, I suppose. And we can still get a lot better, I agree with you. Well, once the injury settled in, we got a couple of quality signings, and well, you never know where it might take us, eh? Anyway, I'm in the middle of this fog here, lads, and I'm absolutely freezing. I'm called on my lawyer's letter. Take care, boys. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Bob.
Cheers, mate. What's a man? What's a man? Aye. So, if we go back to the game, right, mate, who's Sean for you? Who's Sean? What was it? We've talked about he always was Barron, maybe Mikey Moore at times. What did you think of the piece, mate?
I don't think he had a great performance. I think there was a lot of good performances. Again, up until we scored, there was a lot of more frustrated performances out there. Mikey Moore was obviously trying to get on the ball and get forward, but he had no help it sometimes. Once we got the goal, I thought that people kind of stepped up a gear a wee bit. Barron was everywhere, which he does. We know that. That's what he is good at. Passing is still isn't great. We know that's his weakness. As the game went on, I thought Giga, Fernandez improved as well. They were dealing with everything. Sterling got a good over. I thought he was quite physical in the tackles. You could see what he has to that defence. Overall, mate, I don't think there was anything that really stood out as a standout. I thought it was a good performance overall, bar odd moments in the game for brief spells of the time.
Aye. Sterling got better after the first few minutes. I thought I thought of the piece, maybe Mikey Moore and Barron would be two of our better players, mate. I was disappointed in a few, I mentioned Chimiti. I thought that Aaron's I don't know if it suits him, that wing back position, because he's looking to come back and play a pass. He's not an actual, if you like, guy going forward. I didn't think Tav had a great game when he came on again, mate. His passing, I thought, was poor.
I agree with that. Aaron's just isn't a typical attacking fullback. He said that himself. He's more defensive minded, so he's not going to go and take a man on. He always wants to come back, keep possession, and pass it inside. Doesn't give you an overlap the way Tav does, but Tav didn't do anything when he came on as well. His passing was poor. There's a few simple ones as well. Just didn't read the pass or read the judgment. So that's an area of concern when your two right backs have played quite a lot of minutes in the past couple of games and not one of them's really shown out more than the other. But at the end of the day, mate, defensively you got a clean sheet, so you can't argue with that. Magoma, you can still see he's young and he's raw. I thought Curtis had an okay game as well. You could see that he is trying to, as you say, add guile to his craft. But I thought at times he was comfortable in taking the ball in tight areas and trying to do something. A couple of crosses in. He'll get better as he gets more game time. That's all he needs.
Then your decision making improves. Becomes natural unless you're trying to impress and you get it slightly wrong, mate. Yeah, because you're trying too hard. Sounds better, doesn't it?
Aye, it does. You end up, just as you say, trying too hard, overcomplicating things, and that just knocks your confidence as well when things start not going well for you. But the more game time, the more experience, that will come together as well. And again, has he made a stake for that starting position on Sunday? Possibly, but Kasama again looked pretty sharp when he came on. Maybe he just needed that wee rest on the bench to say, it's not just you. But again, there was a few moments, particularly near the end, you've seen how greedy it can be, rather than just passing it off to a teammate. Decision making again.
Asgard was in a better position, and all the players had went to gas him, and the chops back in with lost possession, mate. And then they've got a corner within a minute, mate. It's all hodged to the pump for the last minute, but there was no need for it, mate. It's just that smarter. People could argue when you pay Asgard, they shouldn't shoot. I mean, I think he had a chance. I think he was in a decent position. But also the fact he could have flicked up, stuck up his jumper and ran into the corner, mate. You know what I mean?
Aye, there was an eternity where they could have just slipped it in, and whether he gets a shot away or just holds possession, they could have done it. Again, that's the fine margins that you need to make sure you're making the right decision, because as you say, in the blink of an eye, you're defending a corner, a 1-0 lead, and it becomes squeaky bum time, which we don't want to have.
Right, okay, we've got our gaffer, Danny Roll, so if you don't mind, get yourself a mute and let's hear for the boss.
Danny, a big win for the team here this evening. What pleased you most about what you saw tonight?
The result. I think the 3 points against a tough opponent, they have idea, they defend. I'm happy also for some players today. I think Dushon starts, Findlay starts, Clinton got some minutes because we need him. I think all in all, we make this as a group together. For me, the win was fully deserved. This is also important to understand. Of course, there was, especially in the first half, between minute 10 and 25, we lost a little bit the control. I was not happy with this. But at the end, we have to be clinical, because then you can kill this game, make it 2-3-0, and you can go home, especially when the opponent starts to open up. We had good chances then. And at the end, if you put everything on, and my team did this today, exceptional for me, the effort. Not always nice, but how much we worked, then you deserve to win.
Like you say, that the most important thing was the win tonight. How key is that in building the momentum, and how important is that for the group just to keep that going?
Football is about results and winning games. Hopefully in the future we have then games where we control and dominate. But if you ask me today, you dominate the game like in Dundee and we play a draw, or we play this game, I would always take this game and take the 3 points. And I think this is for me the most important thing. We have a lot of injuries, less training sessions. and how my players run and run and run. It's for me outstanding. I'm also very, pleased today with our fans. They had a good feeling in the stadium when the teams needs the help. I think it was good. They had the patience, and this is what we feel on the grass as well. And if we do this together, we put effort on the pitch, and our fans help us. Then we can also create energy in the stadium, and I think this should be in the future our goal, that teams come here and they have fear to play in our stadium. And if you can do this, then we are in a good way. We make it step by step. Again, a clean sheet. It's now 5 in the league, 6 wins, 2 draws. From this side, I'm happy.
Yeah, how pleasing is that clean sheet again for you, given maybe the injuries defensively and the changes you've had to make there? Does that just show how important the whole squad is coming in to have that impact in there too?
I think this is at the moment the big difference between the league and Europe. Mm-hmm. In Europe, we have not these clean sheets. We still score, but we need always minimum 1 goal to take something or more. And in the league, is also a 1-0 is also for me a good result. Yeah, the clean sheet is there, and we did it now 2 times against Hibs. Let's enjoy, have a rest, and then we have a good big game ahead of us, and we will try again everything.
Yeah, it is another huge game, like you say, next weekend. You must feel your squad are in a good place, though, heading into that one.
Yeah, let's see who is back, who is not available today. After the game, I will miss Nasser now. That means again I have to think about my defense. I don't know what happens with other players. There's a lot of question marks at the moment, but you have not so much time to wait. You have to make decisions, and I try to make the best decision for the club.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
19 minutes past 9 o'clock. Welcome back to the Sports Breakfast on TalkSport from
I don't know what's
Super.
happening here, mate. I don't know what's happening here. I'm glad that's one of Mr. Fox's old tapes, no one of his old videos must be playing live there, mate.
We'd be in trouble. Big trouble.
Yes. Right, okay, aye, listen, he's right. You know, since he came in domestically, our results have been a massive upturn, mate, a massive. We're still frustrated by the 2 games we didn't win. But he's also right. You know, we played well in Dundee. We were the peace, mate, and should have won the game. We weren't great tonight. I think we deserved to win, but just low at Dundee, we should have been out of sight, mate. You know, so it's a funny game.
It is, but it hits the nail on the head and says the results are the most important thing. You can play well and draw, or play poorly and win. You're going to take that all day long, because that's what's going to get you up the table, the points, so which wins your games and wins your leagues and titles. So he's right in what he says, mate. Again, dramatic upturn in the form and domestically. As you said, 6 wins, 2 draws, and in the 7 games, there's 5 clean sheets. So you never seen that coming, given where we were as well. So I know there's still frailties, but you can say that's an improvement he's done.
Aye, without a doubt, mate, without a doubt. You know, so aye, we have to take the positives, mate. You know, we recognise where we are, and we recognise we're not the finished article, we know we'll get problems, mate. But you've got to look at the positives, mate. The results domestically.
100%. Again, as you said, that's the most important thing is results, and especially this period of time where games are coming thick and fast. You just want to go and play the next one, especially when you're coming off the back of a win at home, clean sheet. Not a great performance, but 3 points. So you want to go and get on to the next one to again do your, as you said, go and try hard and put that into practice again, which comes up on Sunday against Hearts, which again it's another big game, big opportunity. The way the fixtures have played out, it's set it up nicely to just go and emphasise a point here that we're still here, we're still in this, and then that's pretty much it. You just go game by game, as much as it's an annoying thing to say, an old cliche.
Aye, just spot on, mate. Spot on, mate. As I say, we win on Sunday, mate. We're 6 points behind with a game in hand. I think people were talking about 15 and 20 points at one time, mate. Yeah.
Aye, and to be fair, you would have been hard to disagree with that, Ox, because of what you'd seen on the park beforehand. Again, as you say, we're not the finished article. We know where we need to strengthen. Danny Rule knows where we need to strengthen, where players individually need to improve on. But if you're still winning games whilst doing that, then you can't complain, especially when you're closing gaps. As they've said all season, it's about closing the gap, closing the gap. And I don't even think any of us out there thought we would be in this position that we've got a chance to almost go second, or at least joint, before Christmas. It's remarkable when you think about it, really. Fox, what's your take on the back five, mate? Do you see going forward? What's your take on this back five?
I couldn't work out when Aarons was playing, mate. I know he was wide on the right, mate, but I couldn't work out if he was just in front and trying to help out. I think he offered nothing defensively and very little going forward, mate, if I'm honest. Well, there's a couple of times he done all right defensively, but, if he's meant to be a tremendous defending fullback and his strengths on it going forward, I'm missing it, mate. I think he looks average at everything he does, mate. And I don't think he looks physically up for our game, mate, if I'm honest, mate. I thought at home didn't get the ball quick enough, so him and Curtis couldn't link up, but at times they done okay. My problem with the back five is, mate, when Conor Barron comes back to take it and the five are across the park, mate, you end up with 6 defenders. That's my problem, mate.
Aye, that's one thing I noticed quite early on in the first half, in particular. There's no need for Conor Barron to drop that deep to receive the ball. You've got 3 centre halves who can bring the ball out, but as soon as Barron drops, the only out ball into the middle of the park is Diamonde, who's surrounded, so it exposes him, and then you're just asking for trouble, because as soon as you're dispossessed, you've got a wave of an attack coming at you, and if your fullbacks are pushed up as well, then you've got a bit of a problem out in the wide areas. But there's no need for him to be dropping so deep. But it's a thing that Barron's done, Raskin's done when they've been playing. They seem to just like to drop deep and collect the ball. Allows the fullbacks to go up, but you're taking away that out ball in the middle of the park, first of all.
Aye, you're leaving yourself short. I get it. I get what everybody tries to do with this modern football, but if you get 3 and somebody comes in and splits them, it makes it a 4. If the fullbacks are still on line or just in front of them, mate, you've got 6 defenders. That's always been my trouble with the 3-5-2 if you don't get it right, mate. And there's times in there, even when Conor Barron's taking the ball in there, I don't know why. He's not in his position, and then the centre halves will get more options. I think it's good that you want to help out and cover, but there's a time and a place, and it depends what they're instructed to do and what they're working on, mate. Only they know that. We don't know it, yeah.
Aye, 100%. I'll be interested to see, obviously, with you get going to the African Cup of Nations now, then we've only got Sterling, who's just coming back from injury, got a good hour in his legs, Fernandez, and then Ciala. So you've only got your 3 centre-backs now that are going to be asked to go and do these games that are coming up, and one of them is just back from injury, and the other's not been in the picture for a long time. So interesting to see how he approaches it from a defensive point of side. But whatever he's done so far, mate, domestically, he's got it right with the clean sheets and the wins.
Aye, well, the results tell you that. I mean, there's no been vintage performance, mate. We're not kidding anybody on. There's been some good performances. Arguably, the best one was a draw up at Tannadice, mate, if we're honest.
Aye, and that's where lies the frustration, because that's the best performance you've put in all season, but you still don't win the game. So again, that's frustrating, but it probably sums up our season that we've played well, not win a game. We've played poorer, and we've come away with 3 points. I mean, Kelly game wasn't great, but we're clinical enough. The night we weren't great, but we still come away with 3 points. And as I said, at the end of the day, it's results-driven business, and that's all that matters. As long as you keep getting wins, however they may come, you'll take them all day long.
Aye, it's all about wins, mate. Wins on the board, And I know when you look back, there's there's a lot of frustrations, and I'm not being ridiculous. The Dundee United game, the Falkirk game, the Dundee at Ibrox, mate. Won the 3 games and look. But maybe if we'd won the Dundee game at Ibrox, the previous manager might not have been here and we'd had to deal with all that. But even if we just go back to the last 2, mate, that's where some of my frustrations lie. Beat Dundee United, beat Falkirk, mate, 4 points. We actually go above them tonight. As mental as it sounds, yeah.
I
Listen,
100%, mate.
I think we've been joined by Ross, who I think is travelling down the road. How we doing, Ross?
Hi, Ox, how we doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Give your take on that, mate.
Well, I never actually saw it, mate. I just listened to it on the radio, so it sounded nervy, but a wee bit.
Well, Mr. Fox said it would have been a good game for the radio. Yeah?
Aye.
It was a good game for the telly, if that makes sense.
No, I get that. Quite a point that I want to make. See the defence, right? See if we can get this sorted out in January. Do we give ourselves a chance?
Oh, without a doubt, mate. We're in the hunt now. We're 3 points behind that, Bob. And we're 9 points behind Hearts, right?
Yeah.
If we can win 1-0 again on Sunday, I know it'll be a great watch, it'll be nervy, mate. We're 6 points behind Hearts with a game in hand, mate. Considering where we were, we're right in the mix, mate.
So 100%. I mean, that's another point that I wanted to say was I think full credit should be going to this manager. As you said, where we were, he's done a remarkable job with the set of players, mate. And I think if he gets 3, 4, maybe 5 good, decent ones in, then he'll be doing well.
Your take on it, Robert?
Evening, Ross. I agree, mate. We've certainly gave ourselves a chance, and we don't even need to get the defence sorted out fully because we've given ourselves a chance already by having 5 clean sheets in 7 domestic games under Danny Rule. So, and that is with injuries and a lot of changes at the back as well. So he's certainly laid a foundation that he can work with. He can see where the strengths are, but he can also identify what we still need to improve on. And it's not the complete article, the back line, we know that. There will be players who will be moving on, so we need to find out who's going to be staying. But for the first and foremost, what they're doing now domestically, they're shoring up the defence, they're having clean sheets, and we're winning games. But certainly we're not out of this race. We might have been right at the start, and I think a lot of us would have said that. It was over fairly early on, which would have been hurtful for us to say, but we certainly came right back in it. And it almost like a sleeping giant, Ross, because I think a lot of people wrote us off. But certainly, as I said earlier in the show, a lot of credit to Danny Role to install something back in the squad and the fans as well. But a credit to the players as well domestically to go and deliver results. Okay, not good performances all the time, but if you're getting results, it's the most important thing.
What's your take on it, Ross?
I agree. I do agree. I mean, I just don't know if I don't. In my opinion, I don't think that back line's good enough to get us through a season to go and challenge. I think that they're going to end up having a lot of mistakes in them. So, for me, if we can get another maybe 1, 2 centre halves in, that'll give me more confidence going forward.
Well, I'm going to give you an interesting stat. Everybody's meant to be doing so well, and we've got the second best defence in the league, mate.
Mental.
And the team that play like the Hibernian Globetrotters, who I've got a manager they don't want, mate. They've only scored 2 more goals this season. Yeah,
That's crazy. Because
aye.
What do you think, Cox? Like, are you confident in the centre halves that we've got in the?
No.
No,
I would be lying if I said I was confident in them. I'm just saying that remarkably they've had 2 domestic clean sheets on a row, mate. Away at Kilmarnock, well, you know how we've struggled there. Hibs Hibs, I've met of all these plaudits. That's us now 5 points clear of them with a game in hand. Yeah. And if Aberdeen win their game in hand, they go above Hibs. So there you go, mate. You know?
No, I know that's it. I'm just hoping that the manager and the team can just get us through to January so we can go and strengthen again a wee bit and then really kick on and see where it takes us. But I think the majority of people I know, I mean, would have never have thought, a couple of months ago we would be here. So he's doing something right.
Listen, if we can go away and win on Sunday, and then we're playing Motherwell and St Mirren at Ibrox, these are the games we've got to win. And it might be just like performances tonight, but it'll no matter, mate. If we win on Saturday, and then the next two games in Ibrox are a mirror image of the night, Robert, and we're sitting with 9 points. Yeah. Other teams that have, I think, Hibs play Hearts. You know, on Boxing Day, So you don't know where that's going to go, and all of a sudden things could swing dramatically in our favour. But we've got to keep winning, Robert.
You do. You don't need to worry about other results. Just be focused on ourselves. And for what we've done domestically, again, we keep saying it's remarkable. So as long as we can keep that continuing game by game, as you say, we'll get through this fixture period, December. The window opens, there's an opportunity there. But as long as you keep going game by game, winning it by any means, in any ways possible, points on the board, other results will take care of themselves. If we just do what we are doing defensively, be reassured in the league, oh deal, all right, we all want to score a couple more goals to make it look nicer, but you would take a 1-0 from here right through and get the points on the board. So consistency is key. It's a crucial period, and if we can get through this period, mate, with a lot of wins on the board, if not all, then it's certainly something to work on and kick on in the second half of the season and build on.
Aye, I mean, I'm not confident in any department of our team at the moment, mate. You know, arguably Butland's been our most consistent player this season. And then you go into defence, we ain't great. Midfield, we've got issues, and up front, we've got issues, mate. We know where we are. I think we're all pretty realistic, but we just keep maybe momentum. Maybe if it starts building, maybe if we start believing, the team might improve, mate. I don't know.
That's the thing, it's just momentum and consistency. We'll keep it going from the stands as much as we always do. It's just down to the players to go and deliver. And from what they've done recently in domestic, albeit by the 2 draws, which are still frustrating, there is improvements there. And if they can keep it going for that length of time, and we get players back from injury, players start improving, and you get that self-belief as well about you, you start playing better. It's just a mental thing as well. We know that if you start getting wins, you suddenly feel more confident in your own ability, your teammates' ability, and it all clicks together. There's still a long way to go in this season, mate. There's a big period coming up, and that's what we need to focus on.
Hey, Ross, when we get the time, mate, if I got a story for you, mate.
Right, okay, you can phone me anytime you want, right?
I can't tell you on air, mate, but if I got a story for you, you'll like it.
Right, well, good lad, look forward to it. Listen, boys, I just wanted to make that quick wee point, all right?
Good to hear
I'm going to concentrate. You too, I'm going to concentrate. By the way, it's not that I've not wanted the phone in, I've just, like everybody, been scunnered with it. I still listen to your show every night, by the way, so, aye.
Mate, listen, the people that are doing the show deserve a pat in the back, mate. Obviously, some of us have been doing it for a long time. It's been difficult, mate, when we've been serving up the ferret, we've been serving up, a lot of the games. There's flaws in the team, and it's we can't come on, even at night, we can't come on and say we're outstanding. But listen, when are you outstanding every game, mate? So you've got to critique it, move on, and hopefully we get better, mate, yeah?
That's it, you're spot on, mate, spot on. But, right, boys, I'm going to go and concentrate on this road to get down the road, all right? And then
all right, mate.
I'll tune in, I'll phone in again, all right?
Speak to you soon, mate.
Right, boys, cheers, thanks.
Cheers, Ross.
Cheers, mate.
Bye bye.
You talk about top man. That is a top man, mate.
He's good. It's a good caller, Ross. So yeah, it's been good to hear from him more often. There'll be a lot of callers that are feeling the same as Ross Hawks that they've been scunnered,
We
but
get it,
hopefully
mate.
the momentum shifts a wee bit.
You know, I mean, listen, I just look. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but Mrs. Albert had to put on the knife somebody if he hasn't her cutlery draw. You know?
It's the way Rangers is and football is for a lot of people. It's a way of life and it's a lot of people's love and passion. And when it's not going well, it does affect people. As much as people say it's only a game of football, it's not. To people out there, it's a lot more than a game. It's something that keeps them going day in, day out. They look forward to games and they want to enjoy their football. They want to see us being successful. And when it's not going well, it can get you down. And it's, as you say, you come on here and you can critique what you see, analyse what you see, and praise when praise is due. So let's keep this momentum and good feeling going. And you never, as you always say, mate, you never know where it takes us. We could be turning the start of the year somewhere we never thought we would be.
We could, I mean, well, if you win on Sunday and you win your next two home games, you get into 26, you're going to be obviously closer. You don't know what the other results are going to be, mate. You know, it could be mental. And then obviously we get quite a tough January, but we're going to get there first. Sunday, as Bridgeman says, it just became massive, mate. Massive.
Oh, you arguably could say it's a 6-pointer, Rocks. Given at a stage in the season already, you could say it's a 6-pointer. If we win, which we hope we do, and we've got no reason to think we can't, let's be brutally honest, but if we go and win that, then it raises a few eyebrows. A lot of people start looking at us and going, hold on a minute, they're not finished, and we're never finished until it is over. But again, one game at a time, but every game is going to be massive now. No slip-ups can be given.
No. No. It's going to be interesting what happens, you know, with the players, the squad, who stays, who goes, who comes in, mate. It's going to be really interesting, you know.
Right, well, it's always a crucial period, Jan. You know, it's a difficult window to shop in as well. You can't really get a lot of movement in or out. It's probably guys that aren't playing regular at their teams that maybe look for first team football. And the same here, we'll be trying to get guys out the door that aren't in the picture or futures don't lie here. It's just a period at a time where you can transition, you can add quality to your squad if the player's there and the money's right, or if it's not a loan deal and it's a player that can improve your squad, whether you're a fan of loan deals or not, if the right players there and you can get them to improve the squad, you would take it. But it will be interesting to see.
Loan deals, if we're really honest with you, is it worked for us, mate? Has it worked for us in the last, the January ones were brought in? Has it worked this season with who have we got? De Giga, Maghome, Aarons, Moore, Cornelius. Have I missed anybody out?
Moore.
Moore, I said him. My five loan players who've been starting a lot for us, mate. Has it really worked out for us?
No, it's not. But I'll go back to the point I've said in previous shows, mate. That comes down for me is the recruitment, that whole setup. If the right player can be scouted and are available for loan and they come in and it works, you will say it works. But based on this season, no, it's not. Moore showed glimpses, but hopefully
he's got better, mate.
Going.
He's got better. He looked as if he was a boy playing man's football, mate, and he's got better, mate. You know, he got some lovely stuff he plays, and he's been more consistent, mate. You know, and I was surprised actually when we went half a night. It wouldn't have been my choice to take that. You know, but also you've got to remember he's coming back for an injury.
Aye, yeah, it's just being sensible with game time. You've got to manage it because you don't want to do yourself an injury. I think that's obviously why Miovski wasn't involved tonight. He could have possibly played with that fitness test this morning, but took the sensible decision to say not tonight and let's keep him fit for Sunday. Gives him that time to just recover and hopefully be ready to go Sunday. Because we will need a lot of the players to be available and fully fit for the full commitment and just go for this.
It wasn't a cup final, mate. It was a game, and you've got to look little picture, big picture. If you play somebody through it and get it right, mate, you might lose them for 2 months.
Aye, there's no point in that at all. Regardless of what player it is, even if it's your star player, there's just no point in it. But you've got to have belief and trust in the players that are picked. And over the piece, I think he's got the setup the night good enough to go and win a game, and that's all that matters.
The highlight of the game for me was the 2 moves with Gassama and Diamondi, mate. If I'm honest, they were the 2 best bits of football in the game. You know, he was just offside, wasn't he? Just offside. Gassama, and I really couldn't blame him. No, people will say, look along the line, he's concentrating and running forward, mate. It was fraction of a second, and it was a nice finish. And then Diamondi times even better than him, but Disney did the finish. You know, they were the 2 best bits of football for me. Apart from Sterling's cross in for the goal, mate.
Aye, it's hard to argue with that. And again, it's just marginal, the lines, especially when it comes to offside these days. Back in the day, that would have been a goal. With VAR now, you're waiting in
No, it wouldn't have
anticipation.
been the linesman gave it half.
I thought it was just went over.
No,
Apologies.
the linesman had his flag up right away, mate.
You must have seen it with the eye of a needle.
There wasn't much in it, mate, when you seen it, you know. There's another frustration, mate, because you don't get to see anything real in Scotland, eh? You know, they're getting a full running commentary of what's happening in England, and we're getting nothing.
Right, until you find out a couple of weeks later from a wee show on Sky. For Willie apologising to you, no doubt.
Aye, well, we'll see where it takes us, mate. Listen, we've reached that time of the evening, time we start winding up. Thanks for coming on the show and doing the show, mate. Good to hear from you as always. But your last word, mate, your last thoughts on the game.
That's just for having me, always a pleasure. Enjoyed the game, obviously. Get the 3 points. Again, we keep saying it, that's what matters at this point in time. Time to recover now. Look ahead of Sunday. Big, massive game, and hopefully let the wins continue. Let's roll on, as they might say.
Here, mate. Here. Listen, good result. Clean sheet. Another positive. Big Sterling coming back into getting fit. Another positive, mate. There's some negatives in there as well with individuals being slack at times. However, it was all about the result of the performance. We got a win tonight. So thanks to Robert, Bobja and Ross for joining us here on Rangers Radio. Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. Talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, All School Blue.